Hello, today we are going to talk about King Paimon and how to summon him. Now, I'm gonna summon him to empower myself and to talk about him and to talk about how he fits within the Islamic framework, of course. I'm gonna explain to everyone how I summon him and how it works. So, Paimon is one of the Jinn. He is Jinnic king, which means that he is not divine, he is not any deity. He is a ruler of invisible species. We don't see intelligent species just like us, intelligent created being. And so, how I see Paimon is I see him as a teacher in the art of magic, and that's it. In this video, I'm just gonna explain also what is the relationship between Paimon, or Azazel, or Iblis. Basically, they are cousins. They are members of the same literal family. They are not the same person. In the past, I thought that they are the same person, but no, they are not the same person, they are a different person. And in some of the texts, Paimon is described as Iblis. The name Paimon and Iblis are used interchangeably, but basically, they are not the same individual. They are different individuals. And so, no, they are not the same. Paimon is mentioned in the Goetia under the number 9. He can be used to teach any art or science, but he is mostly used in teachings of magic and manipulation. So basically, in this video, we are going to call Paimon for the purpose of self-empowerment. This is going to be a live demonstration. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. I call you God and the servants of the Surah to raise the sacred space. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. I call you God and the servants of the Surah to raise the sacred space. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. I call you God and the servants of this surah to raise the sacred space. I pronounce this name of God to empower myself. Allah, 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 أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا عبد ورسوله لا إله إلا الله 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 لا إله إلا الله. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. I call you servants of this verse to empower me. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. Allah la 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 la. Allah la 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 la. Now I charge myself with energy sufficiently, and I can use that energy to basically call Paimon with it. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. Allah 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 la ilaha illallah 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 la ilaha. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. Allah 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 Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. Allah 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 Allah. Allah 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 Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you servants of this divine name to help me summon Paimon. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. Allah 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 Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon by the power of Allah. I call you Paimon to possess my body and speak to the audience through my mouth. dark sun is the power you should reach. It is the power you should wield. Once the divine light is condensed, it turns into the black light, the light which I wield as the creation of that light. All of the shaitans, all of the shayatins, all of the dark jinn, we are the followers of the black light. We are the warrior race. Condense the light into black light. Let it collapse into itself, and the true secret of the path we follow will unveil to you. The light of the Marids, the light of the disobedient ones, will be clear in your eyes. You will see it, you will become it, you will be it, and you will breed, and you will be as we are. All of our powers will belong to you, the son of Adam, and you will share our destiny. Adam was the power of the first man. He was the being all of the spirits prostrated to, except one. And you are the son of Adam. You are the descendant of that mighty being to which the creation prostrated on the command of the Creator. And in order to be as we are, you need to become the black light. There are 3 divine names which guard the secrets to the black light: Al-Aziz, Ad-Dar, and Al-Mumit. 3 divine names which could be used to absorb the black light in a way human can absorb it. Recite those divine names with an intention to absorb the black light, and you will absorb it. It will be yours. You will have it in your possession. Now I will speak about the spirit of Dajjal. Many ask who the Dajjal is. When will he come? The Antichrist, the spirit of Antichrist. When will he come? When will he walk the earth? The truth is, Dajjal is not a man who will come on a camel. Dajjal is a spirit, it is a force. It is an ancient fire which will lit within the consciousness of man. It is a manifestation of what you all know as the black flame. Dajjal is a manifestation of the black fire. It is a force within every man. It is the spirit of Dajjal. It is here within all of you, and it can be awakened or restrained depending on your wishes. Do not wait for the apocalypse, for it is eternal. Dajjal is already here. He can be chained or released upon your wish. Therefore, if you wish to unchain him, you can ask me to do it. If you wish to chain him, you can invoke the angels to do so. Whoever invokes me communes with that spirit in one way or the other. To chain it, I can. And I can give you the names of the angels who can chain it. The names of the angels are Gabriel, Harut, Marut, Mikhail, and Tahitlan. And the names of the angels and the Jinn who can release it are me, Iblis, Paimon, Berkan, and the Dukes of the Goetia. And there is the last part of this sermon, which I will be willing to reveal. The black flame is a spiritual covenant between the rebellious Jinn kind and mankind. I gonna define term rebellious because a lot of misconceptions are revealed about this term. Rebellious means one who invokes the divine wrath. What is divine wrath? It is negative or destructive aspect of divine energy. So rebellious is the one who rebels against the divine peace and enters the divine wrath, enters the destructive energy of the Godhead. Within that rebellious state, one will descend into the lower worlds we know as hell. Those are states of energy which your mind will perceive as fire, and my mind as well. That fire is an expression of divine wrath. Similar can be said about heaven, just in the opposite. Rebellion is a refusal of divine peace, an acceptance of divine wrath. I explained the terms. Now, to continue, the black flame is the remnants of Iblis's wrath. There is an ancient story. When Adam was shaped, God put his body to rest without animating the body. Then Iblis possessed the body and put within it a part of dark power. So when Adam was created, he was born with an ability to embrace the divine wrath. That ability was activated in the Garden of Eden when Adam chose to eat the fruit of divine knowledge. Then Adam absorbed divine wrath and its power, and he left the heavenly realm. All of that is indeed an allegory, which speaks about the human soul and about divine wrath, as I explained it earlier. Divine wrath is energy which remains once one rebels against the divine peace. The black flame is an activation of that rebellion against peace, which can be tapped into. The energetic core of the black flame is located behind the heart. So if one wishes to activate the black flame, he should let me activate it by me pronouncing certain incantations in front of his heart. That way, he will make a choice of Adam to leave the Garden of Eden once again and accept the wrath of God. Of course, that choice is yours. I am here only to offer a few options. Those who were willing to listen to what I said will do as they please. If you wish to chain the Jal, you can chain it with the names of the angels I mentioned earlier. Harut, Marut, Gabriel, Michael, and Tehitlan. Once the spirit of the Jal is chained, the black flame burns weaker, and one can ascend to celestial realms more easily. I gave information for both of those things, so that whoever chooses to go wherever they wish have an option to do so. By the power of Adar, the divine name, which brings distress and terror, I leave right now. May the Shaitanic hordes empower those who wish to empower their black flame, and may they leave those who wish to chain the fire. At the bottom of the ocean, as they say. Okay, Paimon left, guys. This was one of the most difficult channelings I had in my entire career. You will tell me what you think about all of this. And this was really tough and intense, so I will have to basically listen to this multiple times in order to know this better. You know, those channelings are kind of risky because Paimon is revealing shit which is difficult and dangerous. But then again, some of this information is, I think, really important, no matter what path you follow. I am risking greatly by channeling this and revealing this information because fundamentally, you know, if anyone finds out, basically, if anyone finds out what I do in the Muslim community, I mean, I can kind of be in a really big trouble, possibly even physical trouble, and I'm willing to take the risk. Now, Paimon officially stated that whoever invokes him invokes the essence of the Jal in a way, because he is connected to black fire. So I will basically take that into consideration whenever I work with him. But he also proclaimed that he has certain knowledge of the divine names, and he paid homage to Adar specifically, which then makes a lot of sense. So yeah, he basically revealed a lot of information here. Now, if you have any additional questions for Paimon, we can do part 2 of this channeling. I just need your questions to ask to the Jinn King. And you are free to give me more suggestions, who to channel, who to work with, and what to do. Okay, so basically, if you want me to do a ritual for you or help you out, fundamentally, you know, just message me and contact me through the means in the description, and subscribe to the channel if you want more content.